Ambassador Elena Vasquez stood at the edge of the crystalline amphitheater, her human form dwarfed by the towering representatives of 1,000 worlds. The Galactic Summit's greatest hall buzzed with the electromagnetic whispers of the Zephyrians, the subsonic rumbles of the Korthak Empire, and the prismatic light songs of the Luminar Collective. For the first time in galactic history, humanity had been invited to participate. It was not an honor. "Behold," announced Supreme Arbiter HFY, his 6 arms spreading wide as his crystalline carapace caught the starlight streaming through the dome above. The youngest species to achieve interstellar travel, the humans. A wave of what could only be described as cosmic laughter rippled through the assembly. The Vorthon delegation's tentacles writhed in what their species considered hilarious convulsions. The silicon-based architects emitted harmonics that, when translated, roughly meant adorable primitives. Even the usually stoic Eternal Council of Zerion allowed themselves a rare display of amusement, their ancient mechanical forms producing grinding sounds that passed for chuckles. Elena maintained her composure, though her jaw tightened imperceptibly. She had expected this. Humanity's invitation hadn't come through diplomatic channels or military conquest. They had been discovered by accident when a Luminar exploration vessel had detected the radio waves from Earth's first broadcast transmissions. Children's television show from 2157 dubbed Cosmic Puppies. "Tell us, little human," crooned Ambassador Silthera of the Endless Tide, her voice like silk over poison. "What great wonders does your species bring to our ancient confederation? What technologies? What wisdom accumulated over your, how many years of civilization? 3,004? Approximately 12,000 years, Elena replied evenly. The laughter intensified. Elder Kameth of the Obsidian Reach leaned forward on his throne of living stone. 12,000. Why, we were building Dyson spheres when your species was still discovering fire. The youngest member of our council has personally witnessed the birth and death of 17 stars. Quite right, agreed Mind Core Epsilon of the Synthetic Dominion, its voice a harmony of perfectly calibrated tones. We have calculated optimal galactic traffic patterns for the past 57 million years. What exactly do you propose to contribute, small cousin? Elena looked around the amphitheater, taking in the magnificent beings that surrounded her. The Seraphim, beings of pure energy contained in crystalline matrices, who had transcended physical form before Earth's continents had finished forming. The World Shapers, who sculpted planets like pottery and had turned entire solar systems into works of art. The Timekeepers, who claimed to remember the universe when it was young and hot. Each species represented millennia upon millennia of advancement, technology that bordered on magic, civilizations that had risen and fallen and risen again while humanity was still living in caves. You're right, Elena said, her voice carrying clearly through the vast space. You've all achieved incredible things. You've built wonders that stretch across star systems. You've unlocked the fundamental secrets of reality itself. She paused, letting her words settle over the assembly like a blanket. But there's something none of you have done, something that, despite all your power and knowledge and millions of years of existence, has remained beyond your reach. The laughter had stopped. The vast amphitheater had grown quiet, save for the gentle hum of the environmental systems and the distant song of cosmic radiation filtered through the dome's protective barriers. Supreme Arbiter. HFY's compound eyes glittered with curiosity, and perhaps the faintest trace of concern. And what might that be, young human? Elena smiled, a distinctly human expression that somehow managed to be both warm and terrifying. She clasped her hands behind her back and spoke with the casual confidence of someone stating an obvious fact. You've never surprised yourselves. The silence that followed was profound. It stretched across species barriers, transcended the vast differences in biology and consciousness that separated the assembled delegates. Even the quantum intelligences that existed partially outside normal spacetime seemed to pause in their eternal calculations. Your world shapers, Elena continued, plan their planetary sculptures for millennia before beginning. Every mountain, placed with mathematical precision. every ocean calibrated to the exact depth. Your timekeepers know what will happen next century, next millennium. Your synthetic dominion runs probability matrices that predict outcomes with 99.97% accuracy. She began walking slowly around the amphitheater's edge, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. You've optimized yourselves beyond chaos, beyond uncertainty, beyond the beautiful accident. You've made yourselves predictable. When was the last time any of you woke up not knowing what the day would bring? When did you last create something that surprised even you? Elder Kamith's stone throne creaked as he shifted uncomfortably. Mindcore Epsilon's harmonic voice carried a discordant note. The Luminar Collective's light songs had grown dim and uncertain. Humans, Elena said, returning to her position at the center of attention, are professionally unpredictable. We wrote music that our own composers didn't know they were capable of writing. We discovered mathematical principles by accident while trying to solve completely different problems. We've built machines that developed purposes we never intended. She gestured to the assembly around her. Every single one of you stopped evolving the moment you achieved perfection. You solved the puzzle of existence and then, that was it. Game over. Nothing left but maintenance and expansion. Supreme. Arbiter Thexai leaned forward. And humans have not achieved perfection? Elena's laugh was bright and genuine. God, no. We're barely holding our civilization together with duct tape and hope. We still argue about things we solved centuries ago. We still make art that we don't understand. We still ask questions that we know we can't answer. She spread her arms wide, encompassing the magnificent beings around her. You want to know what humanity brings to your galactic confederation? We bring chaos. Beautiful, productive, absolutely terrifying chaos. We bring the gift of being wrong in ways that turn out to be right. We bring problems you never thought to solve and solutions you never thought to attempt. The assembly remained, silent, but Elena could feel something shifting in the vast space, a current of uncertainty that hadn't existed moments before. You've built a perfect, predictable, eternal civilization, she concluded. And in 12,000 years we've learned something you forgot long ago. She paused, letting the moment stretch. Perfect things don't grow. In the silence that followed, Elena could swear she heard the sound of 1,000 ancient civilizations starting to wonder what they might have lost in their quest for certainty. The vote to admit humanity to the Galactic Confederation was unanimous. After all, they were curious what would happen next.